Some of my clients, while they're in bankruptcy, find the need to buy a house or to buy a car, and that happens occasionally. In other words, in Chapter 13 cases that sometimes last up to 5 years, people often find the need to replace their car or to move into a new home. And you can get permission from the bankruptcy court to do so. Now, if you're in a Chapter 13 and you want to get permission to finance a car, the court's concerned about, number one, is the car necessary? And number two, is it reasonable? And number three, can you afford the car? In other words, if I'm in a Chapter 13 and I already have a car that's providing me with transportation and there's nothing wrong with that car, I would have a hard time convincing the bankruptcy court to give me permission to finance a second car. On top of that, if I'm asking the court to finance the second car because I need a car, then the next question is it a reasonable request? In other words, if I'm in a Chapter 13 and my car breaks down and I need to replace that car, if I'm asking the court to allow me to replace it with a Jaguar or a Mercedes, that my monthly payment's going to be $900 a month, the court in that case would say, well, maybe it would be more reasonable to buy a cheaper car, and that way my payments would be less, and I could afford to pay my other creditors more of what I owe them. And of course, the final issue is, can I afford this car that I'm requesting permission to purchase? So if I need a car, the court's going to look at what my income is at that time, and it's going to look at my household living expenses and my Chapter 13 bankruptcy payment, and then look at what the new car payment's going to be. And if I don't have enough left over to afford that new car payment, then the court will not approve me purchasing another car. But on the other hand, plenty of people who are in a Chapter 13 obtain court permission to not only finance a new car, but maybe also move into a home and obtain a mortgage on the home.